It was Christmas Eve, and the city was quiet under a blanket of snow. Street lights reflected on icy sidewalks, and the faint sound of car tires echoed in the empty streets. Inside his office on the top floor of a tall building, Daniel, a young CEO and single father, stared out at the city lights. Papers were stacked neatly on his desk, but he barely noticed them. His mind was elsewhere on his 6-year-old son, Liam, who was at home with their nanny, probably decorating the small Christmas tree in the living room. Daniel felt tired. Work had been demanding, and he had barely taken time for himself. The holidays had passed almost unnoticed in the rush of meetings, calls, and business decisions. He sighed, thinking about the presents he had yet to buy, the festive meals he would have to prepare, and the small traditions he wanted to share with Liam. A feeling of guilt weighed on him, but he pushed it aside and gathered his coat. Something drew him outside tonight. Maybe it was the quiet city, or the soft snow falling, or simply the need to breathe fresh air after hours of sitting behind a desk. He stepped onto the street. The cold air hit his face, and snow crunched under his shoes. Most people were home, celebrating with family. Most people, but not everyone. As he walked past an empty alley, he noticed a small figure huddled against the wall. A blanket covered the child, thin and worn. Her hair was tangled, and she shivered violently. Daniel froze. No child should be out here, alone and cold, on Christmas Eve. "Hey," he said softly, kneeling beside her. "Are you okay?" The girl's eyes fluttered open. They were wide and frightened. I'm fine," she whispered, but her lips were blue, and her small body shook. Daniel shook his head. "You're not fine. It's too cold for you to be out here." He gently lifted her in his arms. She was light, smaller than he expected, and fragile in his hands. "I'm Daniel." "What's your name?" "Anna," she whispered. "Anna, okay. You're safe now. Let's get you somewhere warm." The drive to Daniel's apartment was quiet. Anna leaned against him, still shivering, her small hands clutching his coat. Daniel tried to speak gently, asking simple questions, but she only whispered answers, too tired and cold to say much. He felt a strange protectiveness he had never felt before. When they arrived, his 6-year-old son, Liam, ran to the door, eyes wide with curiosity and concern. "Dad. You're home. Who is she?" "This is Anna," Daniel explained. "She was outside alone. I couldn't just leave her there." Liam's face softened immediately. "She can stay with us. She needs warmth and food." Anna hesitated, unsure, but the apartment felt warm, safe, and calm. Daniel guided her to the living room, where a small fire flickered in the fireplace. He wrapped her in a soft blanket and gave her a warm cup of milk. Liam showed her the Christmas tree, sparkling with colored lights. For the first time, Anna smiled faintly, a shy, hesitant smile. Daniel watched her closely, feeling a mix of relief and curiosity. Who had left her out in the cold? Where was her family? She did not speak of them, only stared at the decorations and the warm fire. That night, Daniel cleaned a small corner for her to sleep in. Liam insisted she sit near the Christmas tree, so she could enjoy the lights. Anna slowly curled up under the blanket, finally closing her eyes, drifting into a quiet, exhausted sleep. Daniel sat in his chair, watching the city through the window. The snow fell steadily, covering streets and rooftops in a soft, white layer. His heart felt something new, something he had not allowed himself to feel in a long time. The magic of the holiday was not in gifts or parties. It was in these small acts of kindness, in giving warmth and care to someone in need. He thought of Liam, smiling and innocent, and of Anna, trembling and scared. This Christmas Eve had begun with loneliness and cold, but it was ending with hope. And Daniel realized, For the first time in years, that love could appear unexpectedly, in the smallest, quietest moments, and change everything. As the night deepened, Daniel whispered softly, "You're safe now, Anna. You don't have to be alone anymore." And for the first time that evening, he truly believed it. The next morning, the apartment felt alive with the soft glow of Christmas lights and the scent of fresh breakfast. Daniel had woken early, making pancakes for Liam and quietly setting a small plate for Anna. The little girl was still shy, sitting quietly in a corner with her blanket wrapped tightly around her. Her eyes were wide as she watched Liam pour syrup over his pancakes. "Do you like pancakes?" Liam asked cheerfully. Anna nodded silently, her fingers nervously tracing the edge of the plate. Daniel watched her, a question forming in his mind. He wanted to ask where she had come from, why she was alone on the streets, but he didn't want to frighten her. Some wounds were too fresh for words. After breakfast, Daniel decided to make the apartment more welcoming for Anna. He brought out extra blankets and stuffed toys that Liam no longer played with. Liam offered her one of his small action figures. Anna hesitated but then accepted it with a shy smile. It was the first real smile Daniel had seen from her since he had found her. As the morning passed, Anna began to feel safer. She followed Liam around the apartment, helping him hang small ornaments on the Christmas tree and carefully placing a star at the top. Daniel watched from the couch, a warm feeling spreading through his chest. Seeing the two children together, he realized how simple acts of kindness could heal hearts that were hurting. Still, Daniel could not shake his worry. He needed to know more about Anna, about the family who might be missing her. He gently asked, "Anna, can you tell me where your parents are?" Anna's face changed. She looked down, clutching the blanket closer. Her voice was barely audible. I don't have them." Daniel felt a sharp pain in his chest. He had known children could face hardship, but hearing it so plainly made the reality heavy. "Okay," he said softly. "You're safe now. We'll take care of you." Anna nodded but did not speak again. Her silence spoke volumes, and Daniel respected it. He understood that trust could not be forced, it had to grow slowly, like a small seed taking root in the earth. By midday, the snow outside had stopped, leaving a soft white layer on the streets. Daniel decided to take Liam and Anna for a short walk. He bundled the children in warm coats and hats. As they stepped outside, Anna's eyes widened at the snow covering the world like a sparkling blanket. For the first time, she laughed, a small, fragile sound, but it filled the cold air with warmth. "Do you want to make a snowman?" Liam asked excitedly. Anna hesitated, then nodded. The three of them found a quiet corner of the nearby park. Daniel watched as Anna rolled the snow, building a small snowman with Liam. She laughed more freely now, her face lighting up as she placed a carrot for the snowman's nose. Daniel felt a wave of relief. For a child who had slept on the streets just the night before, this small joy was a miracle. After returning home, Daniel sat Anna down with a cup of warm cocoa. He wanted her to feel safe, to know that someone cared deeply for her well-being. He also needed to find out more. Gently, he asked, "Anna, can you tell me your story? How did you end up outside last night?" Anna's small hands trembled around the cup. Her eyes filled with tears, and she shook her head. I don't want to talk," she whispered. Daniel nodded. "That's okay. You don't have to talk if you're not ready. But I want you to know something. You're not alone anymore. We will keep you safe." The words seemed to comfort her. She leaned against Daniel for a moment, a quiet trust beginning to form. Liam watched, smiling proudly. "See, Dad. She knows we care. She'll be okay." Evening came, and the apartment glowed with the warm light of the Christmas tree. Daniel sat in his chair, watching Liam and Anna play quietly. The events of the previous night weighed on him, but he also felt hope. He realized that families were not always bound by blood. Sometimes, love and care created a family just as strong. That night, Daniel tucked Anna into a small bed he had set up near Liam's room. He placed a soft blanket over her and whispered, "Good night, Anna. You're safe now. Sleep well." Anna's eyes fluttered shut, and she finally seemed at peace. Daniel stayed by the doorway for a few minutes, watching her breathe calmly. He thought about the future and the challenges that might come. But for now, he was grateful for this moment, the warmth, the laughter, and the quiet bond that had begun to form. In the silence of the apartment, Daniel reflected on how life could change in a single evening. A child on the streets could bring a family together in ways he had never imagined. And he understood, with a deep certainty, that this Christmas Eve would be remembered forever, not for gifts or parties, but for hope, compassion, and the power of human kindness. The morning after Christmas Eve brought a soft, pale light that filled Daniel's apartment. Snow still blanketed the city, turning streets and rooftops into a quiet, white world. Daniel woke early, as usual, and checked on Liam and Anna. Liam was already awake, excitedly pointing at the snow-covered street outside the window. "Dad! Look! It's perfect for building another snowman!" Liam exclaimed. Anna stirred, blinking sleepily. Her small face looked calm, almost peaceful, as she hugged a stuffed toy close. Daniel smiled at her. Something about her presence had already begun to change his home, filling it with warmth he hadn't realized was missing. After breakfast, Daniel suggested they stay inside for the morning. "It's still very cold outside," he said. "We can play games and maybe watch a movie." Anna's eyes brightened a little. She nodded silently and joined Liam in building a small fort out of cushions and blankets. Daniel watched them, his heart full. It was remarkable how quickly Anna had begun to feel a part of their small family. Yet, despite the laughter and games, Daniel couldn't stop worrying. Anna's past remained a mystery. How had such a young girl ended up on the streets alone? And why had no one come looking for her? As the day went on, Daniel tried to gently ask questions again. "Anna, would you like to tell me more about your home?" Anna shook her head. I I don't want to talk about it," she whispered, hugging her knees. Daniel nodded slowly. He understood. Some things were too painful to share too soon. "That's okay," he said softly. "You can tell me whenever you're ready. For now, just know that you're safe here, and we'll take care of you." The afternoon passed with quiet moments. Liam taught Anna how to draw simple pictures, and Anna, with a small smile, began to enjoy the activity. Daniel observed her carefully. He realized that while her trust was fragile, it was growing. Every small laugh, every hesitant smile, was a step toward healing. Around evening, Daniel decided it was time to bring some normalcy back into their lives. He called the local authorities to report that he had found a lost child. He didn't want Anna taken away, but he wanted to ensure that the proper steps were taken to find if any relatives were searching for her. The officer on the phone was kind and understanding, assuring Daniel that they would handle the case delicately. Anna watched from the couch, holding her stuffed toy tightly. When Daniel explained that the authorities would come to ask some questions, she nodded slowly but did not speak. Daniel knelt beside her and whispered, "You don't have to answer anything you're not comfortable with. I'll be right here." The trust between them had grown just enough for Anna to feel safe, even in the presence of strangers. That night, the apartment felt warm and quiet. Liam was asleep, dreaming of snowmen and Christmas lights. Daniel stayed near Anna, reading a story softly, his voice steady and gentle. As Anna drifted off to sleep, she whispered something so quietly that Daniel barely heard it. "Thank you," she said. Daniel's heart tightened. "You're welcome, Anna. You don't have to thank me." You're home now. For a few moments, he simply watched her sleep, thinking about the fragility of life. A single night had changed everything, bringing Anna into their lives, filling the apartment with laughter, and showing him how strong and resilient a child could be, even after facing so much hardship. Later, Daniel sat by the window, looking out at the city lights reflecting off the snow. He knew challenges were ahead. Helping Anna heal would not be easy. Trust needed time. And yet, he felt hope. Anna's presence had reminded him of the true meaning of family: care, love, and protection, no matter where someone came from or what they had endured. Daniel realized something important. Life could be fragile, uncertain, and sometimes unfair. But moments of compassion, like rescuing a child from the streets, giving her warmth, love, and safety, could change everything. It was not just about Christmas. It was about making a real difference in someone's life. As he prepared to go to bed that night, Daniel felt a quiet resolve forming. He would do everything he could to protect Anna, to help her heal, and to give her a life filled with love and security. No matter how difficult it might be, he would not let her face the world alone again. And somewhere deep inside, Anna had begun to understand, in her own small way, that perhaps life could be kind again. That hope, even after pain, could exist, and that sometimes, family could be found in the most unexpected places. The next morning, the apartment was quiet, the soft light of sunrise filtering through the curtains. Daniel was already awake, making breakfast, while Liam sat at the table, munching on toast. Anna remained curled up on the couch, her blanket wrapped tightly around her. Daniel noticed she seemed thoughtful, almost distant, as if something in her mind weighed heavily. "Good morning, Anna," Daniel said softly, setting a warm plate of pancakes in front of her. "Sleep well?" Anna nodded silently but didn't meet his eyes. Her small hands fiddled with the edge of the plate, her movements slow and careful. Daniel sensed that she was holding back something, a secret she wasn't ready to share. He decided to be patient. Trust could not be rushed, and forcing a child to speak could do more harm than good. After breakfast, Liam tugged at Daniel's sleeve. "Dad, can we take Anna to the park again? She seemed happy yesterday." Daniel glanced at Anna. Her eyes flickered with hesitation, but then she nodded slowly. "Okay," she whispered. Bundled in warm coats, the three of them stepped into the snowy morning. The park was nearly empty, the snow untouched except for the footprints they left behind. Anna walked carefully, her small feet crunching in the snow. Liam grabbed her hand, guiding her to the small hill where they could make a snowman. Daniel watched them, smiling. But his mind kept returning to Anna's silence, her cautious movements, and the way she sometimes stared into the distance as if remembering something painful. He knew there was more to her story than she had told. As they built the snowman, Anna hesitated, her hands shaking slightly. Liam noticed. "Are you okay?" he asked. Anna looked down, then whispered, I didn't always live like this." Daniel froze. He had expected hesitation, but not these words. "You don't have to tell me everything right now," he said gently. "But if you want, you can tell me a little bit. I'm listening." Anna's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Daniel and then at Liam, as if searching for permission to speak. Finally, in a trembling voice, she said, I had a home before. A family. But something happened. I got lost." Daniel's heart ached. He knelt beside her, placing a comforting hand on her small shoulder. "It's okay, Anna. You're safe now. Nothing can hurt you here." Anna wiped her tears with the sleeve of her coat. I don't know if anyone is looking for me," she whispered. Daniel nodded slowly. "We'll find out. We'll make sure no one misses you. And even if it takes time, you have a new family here, and we'll take care of you." For the first time, Anna let herself lean on him slightly. Her trust, small and fragile, had begun to grow. Daniel felt a quiet determination. He would do everything possible to keep her safe and to help her feel loved again. The afternoon passed quietly. Back at the apartment, Daniel called social services, explaining the situation carefully. He emphasized that Anna needed a calm, safe environment and that she was beginning to heal. The social worker on the phone promised to investigate gently, to see if any family could be located, and to make sure Anna felt secure throughout the process. Anna watched Daniel during the call, her small hands twisting nervously in her lap. When he hung up, he knelt beside her and smiled. "We'll get answers, Anna. And until then, we'll just take things one step at a time." That evening, Liam insisted on making hot chocolate for everyone. Anna helped, pouring the milk slowly into the mugs, her small smile growing as she watched the steam rise. For a brief moment, the shadows of her past seemed to lift, replaced by warmth and laughter. Daniel looked at her, realizing that these small, simple moments, making pancakes, building snowmen, sipping hot chocolate, were beginning to stitch together something new: trust, safety, and a feeling of family. As night fell, Daniel tucked Anna into bed. She hugged her stuffed toy tightly and whispered, "Thank you, Daniel." "You don't have to thank me, Anna," he said softly. "Just rest now. You're safe." Watching her drift into sleep, Daniel thought about how fragile life could be, and how quickly it could change. A child lost and alone had entered his life, and in return, she had reminded him of the power of kindness, patience, and love. He knew that challenges were ahead, that Anna's past might bring difficult truths, but he was ready. He would face them all, for her sake. Outside, the snow continued to fall gently, covering the city in quiet beauty. Inside, the apartment glowed with warmth, laughter, and hope. And for the first time in a long while, Daniel felt that this Christmas was truly special, not because of gifts or celebrations, but because of the unexpected ways life could bring hearts together. The next morning, Daniel woke to the soft sound of laughter. Liam and Anna were sitting by the window, looking at the snow-covered street. Anna's small face was bright with curiosity, and Daniel felt a warmth in his heart he hadn't felt in years. "Look, Dad," Liam said excitedly. The snow made little footprints. "Maybe animals walked here last night." Anna pointed quietly at the footprints, her small finger trembling. Maybe someone was looking for me," she whispered. Daniel froze for a moment, sensing the weight in her words. He knelt beside her and took her tiny hand in his. "Anna, you don't have to worry. We will make sure you are safe, and we will find out the truth about your past." Anna looked at him, a mix of fear and hope in her eyes. She had been alone for so long, hiding from the world, that the idea of someone searching for her seemed almost unbelievable. But in Daniel's presence, she felt a small spark of trust growing. After breakfast, Daniel decided to organize Anna's things. He found small clothes, toys, and a backpack she had been carrying when he found her. As he gently examined the backpack, he discovered a small, folded piece of paper tucked into a hidden pocket. Curious, he opened it. Inside was a short note written in a careful hand: "If you find this, please protect her. She is alone. Don't let anyone hurt her. Love, Mom." Daniel's heart tightened. The note was old, and the handwriting was shaky, but the message was clear. Anna had a family once, and someone had cared deeply for her. But where were they now? Why had she been left alone? He called Anna to sit beside him and showed her the note. "Anna, do you know who this is from?" Anna shook her head slowly. Tears formed in her eyes. I don't remember everything," she whispered. "I only remember that I was scared. I didn't want anyone to find me." Daniel held her hand gently. It's okay. You don't have to remember everything right now. We will figure it out together. The day passed quietly. Liam suggested they bake cookies, and Anna helped, her small hands pressing the dough into shapes. For a few hours, she laughed freely, forgetting the shadows of the past. Daniel watched, feeling a bittersweet mix of joy and sadness. Joy that she was slowly opening up, and sadness for all she had already endured. Later, Daniel received a call from the social worker. She had begun checking records and searching for anyone connected to Anna. Daniel explained that he would continue caring for her while the process moved forward. The social worker promised to move carefully, ensuring Anna felt safe and supported. That evening, Daniel took Anna aside. Anna, sometimes the truth can be scary. But hiding from it doesn't help. We will face it together, okay? Anna nodded slowly, her small hands gripping his coat. I'm scared, she admitted. I know, Daniel said softly. But you don't have to be scared alone. You have me and Liam. We are your family now, and we will always protect you. Anna leaned slightly against him, feeling a warmth she had not known in a long time. She realized that even though she had lost so much, she could trust again. Slowly, hope began to bloom in her heart. That night, as Liam slept, Daniel sat by Anna's bed. She hugged her stuffed toy tightly and whispered, "Thank you for finding me, Daniel." "You don't have to thank me, Anna," he replied. "You're home now. And we will take care of you." For a moment, the apartment was silent except for the soft hum of the heater. Daniel thought about how fragile life could be. One night could change everything, one decision, one act of kindness, could alter a life forever. And in that moment, he realized that Anna's presence had changed him too. He had been focused on work, on responsibilities, and on providing for Liam. But now, he understood that life's greatest purpose was not just success, it was love, protection, and compassion. Outside, the snow continued to fall softly, covering the city in white. Inside, the apartment glowed with warmth, laughter, and hope. Daniel knew challenges were still ahead. Anna's past might bring surprises, and the world could be unpredictable. But he was ready. He would not let fear or uncertainty keep him from protecting the little girl who had already changed his life. And somewhere deep in Anna's heart, she began to feel it too, a quiet courage, a belief that life could be safe and kind again, and that maybe, just maybe, she could have a new family, one that would never let her go. The next morning, Daniel woke early, his mind restless. He had spent the night thinking about the note he had found in Anna's backpack and the promise he had made to protect her. Today felt different, heavier somehow. Something told him that Anna's past was closer than he had imagined, and he needed to be ready for whatever truth might appear. Anna, as usual, woke quietly. She tiptoed to the living room where Liam was already playing with his small toys. Daniel watched her from the doorway, noticing the way she paused at the window, looking out at the snow. There was a thoughtfulness in her eyes, as if she was trying to remember something she had long forgotten. "Good morning, Anna," Daniel said softly, stepping forward. She turned, her small face uncertain. "Good morning," she whispered. Daniel knelt beside her. "Anna, do you want to talk about your family today?" Anna hesitated. Her fingers trembled slightly as she held the edge of her sweater. I think, maybe I can," she whispered. Her voice was barely audible, but Daniel sensed the courage behind it. They sat together, Daniel holding her hands gently. "It's okay if it's hard," he said. "We will go slowly." Anna took a deep breath. I lived in a small house, not far from here. My mom, she loved me. She told me to stay safe if anything bad happened. I don't remember everything clearly, but I remember, a fire. It was fast and loud. I got scared and ran. And I didn't see anyone after that. Daniel's heart ached. He had imagined hardship, but hearing it from Anna, so small and innocent, made the reality even more painful. "Oh, Anna," he whispered. "You are so brave. No child should have to go through something like that." Anna looked down, tears forming in her eyes. I I don't know if she is alive, if anyone is looking for me. I I was alone." Daniel held her close. "It's okay. You are not alone now. You have me and Liam. We will make sure you are safe, and we will help you find out the truth when the time is right." For the first time in days, Anna let herself cry, letting go of the fear and pain she had carried for so long. Daniel held her, whispering words of comfort, assuring her that she was safe and loved. Liam watched quietly from a distance, not understanding everything, but feeling that something important was happening. After a while, Anna wiped her tears and gave a small, hesitant smile. "Thank you, Daniel," she whispered. "You don't have to thank me," he said softly. "Just rest. We will face everything together." Later that day, Daniel received a phone call. It was the social worker. She had discovered a possible lead regarding Anna's mother. Daniel listened carefully, trying to remain calm for Anna's sake. According to the records, Anna's mother had been hospitalized after the fire, but there was no recent information. It was unclear if she had survived or had any family left to care for Anna. Daniel's heart pounded. This was the truth they had been searching for, the moment when Anna's past would collide with her present. He knew it would be difficult, but he had to prepare himself and Anna for what might come. That evening, he gathered Liam and Anna in the living room. "Anna," he said gently, "we may have found a clue about your mother. We don't know everything yet, but we are going to find out the truth. You are safe with me, and we will take this step together." Anna's eyes widened. Fear, hope, and curiosity mixed in her small face. She hugged her stuffed toy tightly, unsure of what to feel. "Will it be safe?" she asked quietly. "Yes," Daniel assured her. "No one can hurt you now. We will be with you every step." Liam reached over and held her hand. "See, Anna. We are a team. You don't have to be scared." Anna nodded slowly. A small smile appeared, fragile but real. She felt courage growing inside her, a courage she had not known she possessed. For the first time in weeks, she believed that life could be kind again, that there could be hope and safety in the world. That night, as Anna slept peacefully, Daniel sat by the window, looking at the quiet city covered in snow. He knew the coming days would bring questions, perhaps disappointment, but he was ready to face them all. He had promised to protect her, and he would keep that promise, no matter what the future held. Outside, the city lights reflected softly on the snow, and inside, the apartment glowed with warmth. For Daniel, Liam, and Anna, this Christmas had become something more than celebration. It had become a story of hope, courage, and the power of love. And in the heart of a little girl who had once been lost and alone, a small light of trust and happiness had begun to shine. The next morning, Daniel woke with a sense of determination. The lead from the social worker about Anna's mother weighed heavily on his mind. He knew today could change everything, not just for Anna, but for all of them. He prepared breakfast quietly, careful not to wake Anna too abruptly. Liam was already at the table, excited and energetic as always. "Dad, do you think we'll find her?" Liam asked innocently, munching on his toast. Daniel knelt beside him and smiled gently. "We will try our best, Liam. Anna is strong, and we'll face everything together. No matter what happens, she will always be safe with us." After breakfast, they bundled up for another trip outside. This time, Daniel had arranged to meet the social worker at a nearby office. Anna walked quietly between Daniel and Liam, her small hands gripping Daniel's coat. There was a nervousness in her steps, but also a quiet courage that had grown over the past days. The social worker greeted them warmly. "We may have located Anna's mother," she said. "We will need to take things slowly and carefully. The important part is that Anna feels safe and supported." Anna's eyes widened, and she clutched her stuffed toy tightly. Daniel knelt beside her. "Anna, you don't have to do anything you're not ready for. I'll be right here. Liam will be right here. You are safe." Anna nodded, a small, determined smile forming on her face. She took a deep breath, ready to face the part of her past that had haunted her. They were guided to a small room where a woman sat, her face familiar yet worn. Anna froze for a moment, her small hands trembling. Daniel gently placed his hand on hers. "It's okay, Anna. You are safe." The woman stood slowly. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "Anna, is that you?" Anna's eyes widened. Recognition sparked in her small face. She took a tentative step forward. "Mom," she whispered, her voice quivering. The woman rushed forward and hugged Anna tightly. "I've been looking for you. I never stopped searching. I'm so sorry I couldn't protect you before." Anna clung to her mother, tears streaming down her face. Daniel knelt nearby, watching silently, his heart full. Liam, unsure of the full meaning, stood beside Daniel, holding his hand tightly. After a few minutes, the woman pulled back slightly, holding Anna at arm's length. "I thought I had lost you forever," she whispered, brushing back Anna's hair. "You are safe now, my sweet girl. I promise, nothing will ever hurt you again." Anna smiled through her tears, feeling a mixture of relief, love, and joy she hadn't known in years. For the first time, she felt whole again. Daniel finally spoke, his voice calm but filled with emotion. "Anna, you have a family here too. Liam and I care about you, and we will always be part of your life." The woman nodded, understanding immediately. "I am so grateful you found her. Thank you for giving her love and safety." Anna looked at Daniel and Liam, her eyes shining. I want all of us to be together," she whispered softly. Daniel smiled, gently ruffling her hair. "Then we will find a way, Anna. You don't have to choose between anyone. You can have all the love you deserve." The rest of the day passed slowly, filled with stories, laughter, and quiet tears. Anna shared small memories of her past, while her mother explained what had happened during the fire. Daniel and Liam listened patiently, offering support and comfort. The apartment, once quiet and tense, now echoed with warmth, understanding, and hope. That night, back in the apartment, Anna slept peacefully between Liam and her mother. Daniel watched from the doorway, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. The journey had been difficult, filled with fear and uncertainty, but it had led to this moment: a reunion, a healing, and the creation of a family bound not just by blood, but by love and trust. Outside, the city sparkled under a blanket of snow. Inside, the apartment glowed with lights, laughter, and the quiet rhythm of hearts at peace. Daniel realized that this Christmas had given him more than he could have imagined. It had given Anna safety, love, and hope, and it had given him and Liam the joy of welcoming someone into their lives who had needed them just as much as they needed her. As he finally closed his eyes that night, Daniel whispered softly to himself, "No matter what happens, we found each other, and that is what truly matters." Anna's small hand twitched in sleep beside Liam, and her mother's gentle breathing filled the room. The little girl who had once been alone on the streets was no longer lost. She was loved. She was safe. And she had a family to call her own.